I'm just kidding.
Man,
but
Now see, when I tear his ass out the frame, they don't.
whatever.
I don't want to hear nothing.
Gotta be nice there.
I'm being nice.
I don't want to hear nothing.
But
Because when I come for him, I don't want to hear nothing.
one of your
You know I'm coming.
but
I'm coming
one of your
for head.
one of your favorite Browns players suffered an accident when Myles Garrett, defensive all-pro defensive end Myles Garrett, was in a car crash a couple of days ago after practice. Prayers.
She just pulled over and found the nearest hotel.
You must have
Hey.
heard talking about him last week.
Who, me?
Yeah, Miles must have heard the show last week where you was talking about him. I don't know what happened.
He should have just pulled over to the side of the road.
2-1.
Or found the nearest hotel.
All right, yeah, you listening to WNRV1081.com, Nerve DJs. What we getting on your nerve DJs.
Teddy P's place.
Hey, Teddy P, well, it was something different with Teddy P. I don't even want to go.
It was the same activities that were taking place.
Yeah, but different subsidies. But 216-249-6658 is the number you call in. WNRV 249-6658 is the number. Number you call in. Nerve DJs. WNRV1081.com. Where we get on your nerves. I'm glad.
Have they said anything else about it?
Minor injury, scrapes, shoulder sprain. So
He looked like he was dazed.
Yeah.
He was dazed. I tell you that.
non-threatening football injuries. That means he didn't break anything.
Not
So
threatening, but he was dazed.
that port's messed up though.
He was dazed for more than 2 hours.
Hey, we don't want no rumors going around here.
Hey, this is fact.
She's doing subliminal.
Right, we don't know what's going on, but we're just glad
But it's okay.
him and the woman passenger he was with are okay.
Yeah, she was laying on the ground.
Anyway,
She jumped up out the car. No, that's what they
she
said.
was laying on the ground.
Yeah, she was laying on the
Okay,
ground.
all right.
When they pulled him out,
So-
she was laying on the ground. Like, oh my God, let me clean my mouth. Wait a minute.
Remember, November 8th is the general election and the Calhoun County executive races and the governor races are heating up despite the rain effects from this hurricane that's going on.
Took like torrential down.
Yeah, torrential downpours.
These last couple of days. I mean, starting on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
What's today? I'm confused. What's today?
Wednesday.
This
So,
weather is.
We have a show here every Wednesday.
Thank you, T.
so hopefully they'll stop. And if you got loved ones in Florida, please check on them. Or Facebook friends, just check on them.
She's in Florida. She's in Jacksonville.
Right. Ooh, how far is Glenda from?
They were bracing for some of the remnants. I don't know if they're going to get a direct hit, though.
Oh gosh. I think the wind gusts are 20 to 140 mile per hour
It's gonna be
winds.
Category 4 when he hits land.
Yeah. So it's like the winds are blowing right now. So I don't
Something ain't
know.
right with these winds and these hurricanes. Something ain't right.
Something not right with the world right about now. We're gonna
Well,
talk
that's
about that
true.
later. First of all, and speaking of football players, I'm gonna get on this before I get on some the basketball people. First of all, former Green Bay Packer, Minnesota Vikings quarterback Brett Favre was involved in a scandal.
It wasn't a scandal. That's what it was. That was not a scandal.
With using funds from TANF, which is for poor people to get something to eat, to fund a volleyball stadium.
It was a court or volleyball. Or, it was for Brett's daughter.
Brett's daughter, and $7 million. How in the hell do you steal? The former governor has been indicted, so I don't know how long before Mr. Brett Favre is going to be indicted. What?
How is it that if this doesn't really tell you
How the media.
yeah, the differences between the ones with they got the complexion for the protection.
That's what you say. Yes.
And those that look like us. I mean, they scrutinized Michael Vick.
For the dog
They
fighting.
scrutinized him.
You know the complexion for the protection of their dogs.
And Kaepernick took a knee.
Mm-hmm.
He blackballed.
Right.
Then you got Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Look what they did to him.
Right.
And now we got Brett Favre that then stole millions of dollars from poor people in my home state.
Mm-hmm.
I come from
That's
the
right.
SIP.
You are from Mississippi.
I'm from the SIP. And we are still one of the poorest states in the country. We lag behind in everything. So tell me, how does he get away with stealing $7 million? You know why? Because they say them poor black people didn't need that money.
Lies.
They didn't need that. They needed a volleyball court or softball, whatever the court was.
Volleyball.
They needed that more.
Volleyball.
But how, and this is what I say, this is, the media likes to spin things. It spins everything. So how do we spin Cap and blackball him? Before Cap, there was Michael Vick. Then we had the other boy that stole the crab legs when he was at Ohio State. What was his name?
Not Florida.
Was he in Florida?
Yeah.
He stole
Winston. Jameis Winston.
Jameson Winston. So he stole the crab legs. We scrutinized that boy
Right.
for some crab legs, and they was what, 30, 40 something
40,
dollars?
$45 to be exact.
And
Something
here
like
we
that.
got Brett Favre and stole $7 million.
$7 million from
in
poor
TANF
people.
funds that the governor allowed him to take.
If he's not in,
How does this make sense?
yeah, if he's not,
Make it make sense to me, 'cause it don't.
if he's not indicted by if Brett Favre is not indicted by at least the end of this week,
I want his head
off
Off with his head.
I'm
I want
asking
him
questions.
scrutinized just like they scrutinized Cap,
Mm-hmm.
just like they scrutinized Michael Vick, just like they scrutinized what's his name?
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston for the crab legs, and just like they scrutinized Deshaun Watson. I want Brett Favre dragged the same way.
Well, I got
Dragged.
Well, shout out to Shannon Sharp for bringing the story to the
I love
attention,
Shannon.
Uncle Shay Shay. Now, dragged is the appropriate thing for this statement here, because the one thing that the story that people are focused on is Ime Udoka, the suspended Boston Celtics coach for inappropriation of had a consensual relationship with someone in the organization. They have suspended him for a year.
He's a freak.
Well,
No, it's not a freak.
He's freaky.
No, that's another thing about the media.
It was another entanglement. Let's call it what it is.
No. All the coaches doing this is just.
Yeah, he was.
Like you just said, what's the color of his skin?
It's an entanglement. Let's just call it what it is.
All right, let me just.
Call it what it is.
Well, let's break down this story here. Reports have come out through various sources, otherwise factual, and even though ESPN doesn't want to say, there was actually two men involved. One was a staffer. The other one was the wife of the vice president of financial relations that he was involved in, and it was a doorbell knocker that he found out that his wife was having an affair, just didn't know who. So
Somebody had a PI on them, right?
yeah, he had the private investigator
Yeah,
out
PI
on her
Yeah.
and turns around that it was him. So let me just explain something here for that particular. Let me just say this. Let me say this. You never sleep with the wife of the VP. And then when she tried to call the relationship off, that's when he got, what they say, a little bit possessive. And by the way, everybody knows that his fiance is actress Nia Long, Love Jones Nia Long, Friday Nia Long, my crush Nia Long.
It's a proven fact that it doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter how famous you are. Doesn't matter what size you are. You can be the best woman in the world.
Right.
And if a man want to cheat, a man gonna cheat.
Right. Well, you know who else?
You can have the best pocketbook that God could have ever made. And he's still gonna cheat.
Well, right. Well, you know who else got cheated on? You know who else got cheated on? You know, you know who else got cheated on besides Nia Long? There was Brenda, Letitia, Arnez, and Lucretia. Cookie. I think he met her at an ice cream parlor.
You
Three Kims.
You talking about DMX?
Yeah,
What these bitches want. Is that what you're saying?
Right. So, yeah, like everybody, then somehow,
When
men
do we
or
stop,
women
though?
got cheated on.
we should really talk about that one day, Larry. When do men stop cheating?
Well, it's not just
See,
men.
that's right up your alley.
It's,
When your joint don't work no more.
well, when
See,
see
when
that's
you need a little extra help with the little blue
black
pill,
men don't cheat. T-Rex.
That is a lie.
We don't cheat. We don't cheat because when we came into this universe, we was already a couple steps behind. So there's no way we cheat.
Men are really 10 years behind us.
No, we always catching up. So I mean, like, how we cheating? We can't cheat.
I'm,
We never was here from the forefront.
but I'm gonna say this about the whole situation.
When do y'all stop though? Seriously.
I'm gonna say this about the whole situation. Just fire him. You're
Is he suspended for a whole year?
He's suspended for a whole year, and then they're going to review what he does after the year. The intern head coach will be Jason Morrow of the Boston Celtics. I mean, the thing about it is the Celtics franchise leaked this. They could have just fired him, had him sign an NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement.
No, they wanted to.
They wanted
scrutinize
to scrutinize him and hang him. So if he would, most employers can't reveal why they fired him.
So they put it in the matter of public opinion.
Right.
That's what they did to Deshaun Watson. They put it into the field of the matter of a public opinion. They thought they gave all the facts, but they gave just sound bites and clips.
They gave just enough
for people to draw their own conclusion.
So, and the thing about it is if you know why don't you just, you know what the thing is, you didn't want him to get another assistant job, another coach's job, because he was the assistant coach and he played for the San Antonio Spurs. He was under the tutelage of one of the greatest head coaches in the NBA, Greg Popovich. So they didn't want him to get another job, whether it was available or assistant job available or not. So they just did this.
But why go through all of this just to scrutinize him and make it seem like, he's doing something that all these other
because
look at all these freaky ass NFL owners.
NFL owners,
yeah,
NBA owners,
asses.
Racist NBA owners, just like the Phoenix Suns NBA. Okay, let me just explain this. Because he messed with a white woman in Boston who was the
Who was
wife.
the white woman that he messed with?
She's the vice. They didn't release her
so
name.
Hold up.
She's the wife of the vice president
Hold up.
of finance.
Hold up.
Uh-huh.
So the girl that they had him with originally, that they showed on the media, was she not the woman? Or was she the second woman that he was messing around with?
I think she might have been the second woman.
So back this up. So there's another woman involved.
Uh-huh.
And she happens to be of the different complexion.
Right.
So, in other words, girl, but because he was messing around with the Caucasian woman.
Exactly. Do you actually think Abe would give a damn if he was messing with his own kind? I mean, this man, the thing about it is, according to other reports, he's been stepping out on Nia for, I guess, years.
So the media has said that Nia Long, they've been together for 10 years and been engaged for 7.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't want to get married. She's not looking to get married.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that a reason for the man to cheat on her? No, absolutely not. No, you got probably one of the coldest out here in the game in Hollywood. So that just that just says a lot to us as women. Like I said, it doesn't matter, what you look like. It doesn't matter, how fine you are. It doesn't. Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce.
We was not gonna go there.
I'm just saying. Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. Yes, Beyonce. So if she can get cheated on, and then her mama got cheated on. Matthew cheated on her mama. So these are not just your typical everyday women. These are women that they're beautiful in the eyes of the public. But they out here, they got it going on. They got everything. And they man cheated on them too.
Mm.
Now, I know I ain't got shit coming.
No, it's not that. It's we sorry. Here's the thing. We understand, and from
what makes a man not want to cheat?
There's somebody out here for everybody.
Right. So I'm gonna say this, and Shaquille O'Neal put it in perspective. he stepped out on his wife, and he was.
He stepped out on Shawnee too.
Yeah, and he felt alone. So he's like, he don't want nobody to feel what he felt. That big house that he had, he still had a big old house, even though he was playing for the Lakers in Orlando. You know, he felt alone because of what he did. So he doesn't want, like, the thing about it is like, if they get back together.
But dummy, you should have thought about that before you did it. Seriously. So that's what I'm saying. When does a man stop cheating?
That's a conversation for another show.
You know, and I'll tell my story.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord.
Because I'm an open book. I'm 100. Seriously. When does it stop? When do men, because my ex told me the reason why he did it was to see if he still had it. Like what?
That was it.
Like just to see.
It still work.
Not that, just to see if he could pull a younger chick. Like what? So what is it with you men that y'all just can't be faithful when you get a good one? And there's a lot of good women out here. There's a lot of great women out here.
All right.
There's some that ain't right. But when do y'all just stop?
Well, I messed up.
I know you did. You're an open book too.
Yeah, I messed up, and I regret it. I regretted it, and I now regret it ever since because the dating pool got pee in it, and it's got pee and some kind of what is it? Kerosene fire in it.
I'm gonna tell you why. The dating pool today, in this current times that we're in, first of all, men are just out here doing body counts. And we as women, we're allowing them to do it. Because some of us are just settling for a piece of a man rather than waiting for a whole man.
Right.
That's the issue.
Right.
And then we get these men and we don't hold these men accountable to what we're expecting of them. Because when we see them, we see the potential in them. And that's what we base our relationships on, is the potential that we see in these men. But then that potential never comes to fruition. So we done wasted 5, 10, 15 years on a potential, on a possible, on a card table.
Instead of, and the thing about it is, instead of somebody that already has that already not only
even with them that's got it, they messed up too. It's sad because we're all broken.
Some of it, yes.
We're all broken.
So speaking of broken, what do you think that Boston is going to do to him after his suspension is over? Because not only did they suspend him, but they cut back 50% of his pay.
If I was him, just pack your coat, get your hat, and get on out the door. Just go ahead and quit.
Right.
Walk away with some dignity, because this is going to linger on for a long time.
This is a partial. To me, this is a partial lynching because it didn't matter what he did. Like, well, he broke company protocol by messing around with people that was in the organization.
But what about the woman? What about the woman? What's going to happen with her?
She's the vice president. Like, unless of course that the VP going to divorce her ass.
I don't care. I don't care who she is. What about her? Why have we not seen her?
Well, you're probably the only woman, and I'm gonna say this because as I saw on First Take when Stephen A. Smith brought that up, Miss Malika pretty much went at his throat and Kendrick Perkins' throat for trying to bring up the woman.
The first one?
Yeah, or the second one, or both of them.
Well, the second one's already been brought up. Her picture's been plastered everywhere. So where's the first one? I want to see the first chick. If we gonna play and we gonna play equal across the board, I want to see both of them.
Right. But here's the thing. The thing about it is like, women's rights, women should be protected from this scrutiny.
They ain't protect Malika or whatever her name is. She ain't protected.
Well, Malika is not the woman that was cheated on. Malika is the analyst on ESPN First Take who went after Stephen A. Smith because Stephen A. Smith wanted to bring up the woman. And she said, why are we bringing up the woman when Mr. Udoka...
I want to see both of them. They put the first one out there, put them both out there. Put them in the public's opinion as well. Just like they do all these men. Fair is fair.
Well, true.
So it's fair across the
Fair
board.
is fair
So
is fair.
if you're gonna put one out there, put the other one out there. Don't just put one and don't put the other one. Come on now.
Right.
What type of dog and pony show shit is this?
Exactly. Shout out to Miss D. Williams and Reba Aaron. Hello, both of you that's looking on my Facebook. Thank you very much. Listen. I'm with you on Mr. Ime. Just go ahead, bro. They lynching you right now in Boston.
Just get your hat.
Just walk
get your
away.
coat, and get on out the door.
Save your family.
That's too late.
You think she gonna leave? Nia gonna leave him?
She knew.
I have to go to tea.
And the thing about it is that
I think a lot of these women, so the other thing, the other side of this is that a lot of these women in these positions that are in Hollywood, these are the type of things that they're subjected to. Because they know this is going on. I mean, look at Will and Jada.
If you an NBA coach, an NFL coach, you got ladies throwing draws at you.
Well,
everywhere.
I be trying to get to my time.
See what I'm saying? Imagine
See,
you're
yeah.
the only one, and then they get mad.
Who get mad?
No, we're not getting mad. I'm just saying.
Oh.
That's how it is. You the coach. You know how long it took to be a head coach. Ladies love that. That's
And Mike Tomlin is a winning coach
You know
too.
what I'm saying?
here we go. Yeah, thank you for just bringing that up.
Listen.
Just
Oh,
and
my
not
God.
you need some water because you getting over. You getting overheated for Mike Tomlin over there. They lost to the Browns on Thursday.
I don't give
Suck
a
it
damn.
up, but you
I don't give a damn.
still like Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin, he's the winningest coach. What are you talking about?
I'm not. Listen, I'm not against the brother,
He's
despite the fact that he.
season, but anyhow, we're gonna keep it moving. Yes, so I get what you're saying, T. You're absolutely correct. But you gotta have control. I ain't never heard no scandal about Mike Tomlin.
He ain't never.
He
know better.
He know better. They get rid of him.
Waiting on him. That's
Right.
why he ain't had no losing season.
Right.
He be out there working hard.
Right.
I mean, look at LeBron, same thing.
Yeah.
Even though they tried to connect him with Sharon, was it with Sharon Reed?
Yeah.
No facts.
No facts at all.
Gone.
They-
Gone.
But you know, I'm gonna say this about LeBron. He's what is it, his 17th or 20th
He's been
season?
in the league 20 years.
20
already?
years. It's 20 years. Yeah, he got drafted in 2002, so he'll be in the league. This is 2022, 20 years. LeBron James is the epitome of, despite what you think of him team hopping or whatever, LeBron James has never had a traffic ticket to talk about, but people want to talk. The only negative thing, the GOAT conversation with Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. God rest Kobe Bryant's soul. But as far as anything negative, the man built a school in Akron. He's funded children to go to college. He's at his son's games. He's brought them a better life. He's been with his high school sweetheart for all of them.
He's the youngest. He's the youngest millionaire. Isn't that what he is? It's something. He's something. LeBron. That boy got. Let me tell you something. LeBron did it right.
Mm-hmm.
He got Savannah, married her. They had their family. She don't got to worry about nothing. He puts her on a pedestal.
Right.
I
He
applaud
always does that to Savannah, my queen,
I
my
applaud
rock.
him for that. That's his rock. And people talk about LeBron, but LeBron was a good steward over his money. And you know what he did? He went and got Warren Buffett to teach him the game.
Right.
That boy ain't gonna never be broke a day in his life.
And the thing about it is what I like about what LeBron has done. I mean, he brought us a championship. Nothing can ever take that away. In Cleveland, he brought us the championship. He did what he did. He said what he was going to do. He kept his promise. He brought us to the
So
finals.
why do people hate him so much?
Because of the simple fact of the matter is that, first of all, look who's hating on him. Second of all,
His own people.
because of the not negative things that has surrounded him, it's like people will award you for going to jail, throw a party for you before you go to jail or after you get out, then when you go to college. Did it start with Boys in the Hood? Is that when we started? I think it was way before, but it escalated with Boys in the Hood. It escalated with that, and there's some other things that escalated as well. Like this dude, T-Rex, have my lions ready for the end of
You
the
throw
show.
somebody to the lions?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. But I'm going to talk about this asshole first.
Who he talking about?
I'm talking about the dude from Sweetie Pies.
Oh, that big hip bitch.
Yes, him.
Wide hip, wide go, beep, beep.
Tim Norman, who was found guilty of murder for hire for his nephew.
That just shows you that greed. And if you ever watch the show Sweetie Pies, you could see that greed was consuming him. I mean, it got so bad to the point to where he was going against everything Miss Robbie told him. Everything.
The thing about it is that, first of all, why in the hell are you mad at your own nephew?
Because
your
he
own
stood
flesh
the
and
game
blood.
out of the business.
So what? He's like, the thing about it is like he's making money. You're making money. Miss Robbie was making money. Now they had to close down everything.
Well, she closed down the upper crust.
Right.
Because I think that they're building around her.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they bought that portion.
No, they didn't.
Of where they're building, because they're building a new hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure why they didn't buy her out. That's a little strange.
But the thing about it is like with all the negativity surrounding your own father was murdered, and you end up murdering.
Tim was in prison too.
He still shouldn't have murdered his nephew.
No, I'm saying he went to prison too.
I know, but this wide head looking mug, wide head, wide hip, wide whatever.
He was built funny. He was just somebody's gonna have fun with him.
Hey, we gonna have fun with him in today's show.
But look at the impact that it's had on Sweetie Pie's brand.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to be affiliated with Sweetie Pies, and I get it that Miss Robbie is standing by Tim. You know, that is her son. But I mean, she may be doing that for the media. But I mean, just think about that. That your son, and he sat there on national TV with her, crying, and he was guilty. That's wicked. Evil and wicked. And that just tells you how people are in this world today. People are evil and people are wicked.
Right.
People will laugh in your face and will stand there with you all the while they got their hand behind your back. Just taking a knife and screwing it in.
You don't feel the blood until later. So, you know,
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Now, as far as, you know, the show's been like the reality show, you had a black African-American business that was running great until all this happened. And now
he just got too big. He wanted to do too much. Too much, too soon, too fast. And he was blowing through Miss Robbie's money. Just blowing through it.
Wow.
Like, dude, you didn't even earn this.
Speaking of blowing through money,
but his Janae, his wife, his son's mother, she was right for leaving him.
Right.
And Jennifer, even though she batshit crazy too, but she was telling the truth about him.
Right.
That he was stalking her and he was doing all that stuff to her. So that boy got some issues.
Speaking of issues, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna bring up. Speaking of issues, and how we can spread the wrong information. The series Dahmer has come out.
I haven't watched it yet.
I'm not going to watch it.
I keep seeing people posting about it, and they're like, "We can't get past the first episode."
Let me explain something about Dahmer. Is the series about serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, who killed 16 men, most of them African American men, all of them who were homosexual men, tortured.
Was Jeffrey Dahmer gay? He was gay.
Yeah,
right?
he was gay. Tortured the men, cut the men up.
He was eating them, wasn't he?
That was the last part. Yeah, he was eating them. Now, he only raped them, then cut them up, then ate them. And somebody mentioned to me this morning that the reason he ate them was because he wanted them to stay with him. So he wanted the men inside of him.
I know
that's lonely.
On the funny side, if I ever go over somebody's house and it stink, I'm out of there.
Like this.
I only watched the first episode. This is spoiler alert. The neighbor kept saying, "What's that smell? God damn, what's that smell?"
Kind of like with what's his name? With that boy named
Sowell.
Anthony Sowell.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Same
was,
thing,
but
same thing.
right, but
Same thing.
same thing, different people. The thing about Anthony Sowell was he was killing women. Shout out to my mother Anita France for interviewing one of the for being a counselor for one of the sisters who was a victim of Anthony
I wanted
Sowell.
to interview him before he left, before he died.
So to be safe, people, if you ever go to somebody's house and the smell is crazy, just leave, or you will be a victim. That's crazy.
That is, you know what the crazy part about that is, because when that was mentioned to me, it's like he was lonely, he was in a poor neighborhood, he was this, he was that. Jeffrey Dahmer, that's what they said. So the weirdest part about this whole thing is that he kept torsos in his closet. He kept body parts in his refrigerator. How in the hell can you smell with that when you're keeping body parts in your refrigerator,
Well, he got
man?
accustomed to the smell. He was accustomed to it. So
Sick.
to him it was like an aphrodisiac. So it might have driven him to kill more.
You mean it was like a sex thing with him?
Yeah, he might have got a rise out of it.
Ew.
Well,
He was on. I mean the thing about it is,
it's
and spoiler alert, how he died was,
not good enough.
I mean, somebody put something up
Not
his
good enough.
rectum
Not
and
good
drove it up there till he died.
Not good enough.
That was in prison.
That's hilarious, but
It's not good enough. Let me just explain the reason why I'm not watching it. Let me just explain why. The reason why I'm not watching it is because of the simple fact of the matter. When this first came out, I was in high school, and we had Mr. Johanny and Mr. Eisenhardt wanted us to study the news, up-to-date current events. And unfortunately, that was the current event that I had to study for and critique it. And the thing about it is, we had to watch the news about this stuff came out. And I just remember the sister of one of the victims screaming on the stand when his murder trial came up, "Jeffrey! Jeffrey!" And then she ran down and tried to kill Jeffrey Dahmer in the courtroom. I just remembered that in my head. I had nightmares about that because I thought that he was a demon walking this earth. And that's when my grandmother, who was shout out to the late great Ophelia Gardner, my grandmother, who explained to me as a teenager that there are demons
Amongst us. Yes, there are. And to me, how he died, to me, that wasn't good enough for me.
I mean,
They should have just peeled all his skin
what
off.
y'all mean by that? There's demons amongst us.
There
There
are
are
people,
demons.
there are demon spirits. There are evil people in this world.
But not everybody. Y'all just saying certain people.
And you
Or
can
y'all
tell.
saying
No,
everybody?
you can tell who's evil. You see, I've learned to as I mature in age, I've learned to be in tune with my discernment. And when people's energies are not right, we ain't vibing, we ain't clicking, we ain't doing nothing. Period. Point blank. Bottom line.
You think women can peep that more than men?
Yes. As women, yes. I have some uncertainties about some people right now.
You want to tell us off air?
Please, hope it's Larry, not me.
No, they ain't in this room. They ain't in this room.
No, I ain't in this room. Shut up.
They ain't in this room.
I ain't in this room. No.
This is a comedy show, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
But all I'm saying is that the reason I said I lived hearing about it and watching the court documents and hearing about the news, and I was so inquisitive. I'm like everybody else that's watching it now. When it first came out, I was inquisitive, and the more inquisitive it got, the more nightmarish it got. Mom, like, we just wrote down some, and then it's like he ate people, he cut them up, and he ate people, he had sex with people, all that other stuff.
He
like
had sex with a corpse, right?
Yes. And that's why when somebody said that to me, I was like, I lived that drama, and I was scared as a teenager. Just in writing the report. All of our reports, so it was like 15, 20 of us in the class, all of our reports were similar that it scared us. So he was like...
Yeah, at that age, you would be be scared. I mean, even as a human, as a 53-year-old woman, I'm scared. But I guarantee you one thing for sure and two things for certain, baby. I'm coming up out of it because your ass is going 6 feet.
Right.
The Undertaker gonna dress you and God gonna bless you.
Right, exactly. So all I know is that I'm not touching that no more.
I haven't watched it, and I keep seeing people. But then also they're talking about the Jazz Man Blues,
Yeah.
Tyler Perry's
Uh-huh.
movie.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to see if I can watch that.
I mean, I just watch a black film. That's better.
Did y'all watch The Tima?
Nah, not yet. Not yet. But we're
What is it?
It's Zach and Fatima from the show Sisters. Tyler Perry.
no. Well, I'll probably.
I'm cool on time. Okay, bro.
All right. So
Wanna go to commercial break?
yeah, we're gonna go commercial.
Fatima.
Right. We're gonna go to the commercial break on WNRV1081.com, Nerve DJs. And this is DMH with Machine Gun Kelly. We'll be right back with our guest who just